Hi, this is Majinoni, and today I think I'll do some DC reviews that I read. First up is Swamp Thing number 4. In this issue, it's just, they're moving more towards the rot, and they give a little bit more background on how the red and the green all interact with each other, and then how they have like a truce when they fight against the rot. And overall, the story, I'm still enjoying the story, and I'm enjoying the fact that they're giving us more background information as to what's going on. So far, I think this is still a strong title for me. I don't think it's the strongest title, at least in terms of what I like, but I think Scott Snyder's doing a really good job with Swamp Thing. Next up is Stormwatch number 4. This is probably by far my favorite of the DC relaunch books. This is just so much fun to read. The art's fantastic, the level of action is really good, and this has just been a fun read. In this issue here, what we have going on is Midnighter and Apollo having to face, the creature from the moon, and they do a really good job at handling the overall battle. I think the battle between everything moves kind of smoothly. Midnighter shows a little bit ingenuity, his intelligence, so this way the people who aren't familiar with the character get a better idea of what he's capable of. And overall, like I said, this has been a pleasure to read, and I'm really looking forward to see what else they're going to do with this. I just hope that they're able to continue this, because I can see at some point they're going to be a writer and a artist change, and then that's when the whole thing is just going to collapse. But so far this is really good. Next up is Action Comics number 4. This is the debut of Steel, and I'm really enjoying this story. It's I guess you can say with Superman there was so much history in the fact that Superman was this indestructible superhero. With this one, he's I guess you can say he can be harmed, and it provides a little bit interesting take on it, especially with the way the people are interacting with him. Like, for an example, when the military finally, or the police finally arrive to the scene, they want to arrest Superman, even though he's the one person that can stop Brainiac from destroying everything. And I think overall this has been a pleasure to read. Here's what Brainiac looks like, and he's up to his old ways of collecting, the cities and civilizations and things like that. And they give you the somewhat origin of Steel in this also. And from what I can tell, I like, in a sense, I guess you can say, to me, the introduction of Steel doesn't really matter as much, the way they relaunched him, just because I thought it was kind of corny the way Superman's dead, so here comes 4 new Superman to replace him. While I understand the motivation behind the character, I just thought it was just too convenient. And come on, an Iron Man reject really can't replace Superman. So I liked what they did with this one. And let's see. By the way, I have to say this: the Men of War picture here, this has got to be one of the worst photoshops I've seen in a long time, where they just photoshopped the dog tag with Rock. This could have been a cool picture, but then everybody, you just kind of focus right on that, and just, I expect better from DC. Penguin, Pain and Prejudice number 3. This is such a good read. I'm so surprised by this. In this one, Penguin finds love, and it's a blind woman. The blind woman won't Penguin won't let the blind woman touch him, because he's afraid that once she touches his face, she'll know that he's horrific and then not want to see him any longer. And this was just like a really strong read. I'm really enjoying it. Of course, Penguin's doing some naughty things, and Batman's closing in on him. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to work out, considering it looks like Penguin's going to marry this blind woman, and Batwoman Batman's basically figured out Penguin's responsible for some murders and then slash jewel theft. I think when this comes out on trade, I'm going to definitely buy this because this has just been. I think this is, at least so far, 3 issues in, I think this is trade worthy so far. The art's phenomenal. It's an interesting take on the Penguin that it's pretty much the Penguin that we know and love, but it gives you a slightly different view of his character, and I think this is like a really good job that they're doing with this. And finally, Batwing, Secret Origin Unveiled. This was one of the most crazy Secret Origins I have seen in a long time. When you think of superheroes, you think of them, I guess you can say prior to becoming the hero, they tend to be, like average people, and they're thrust this great responsibility and they rise to it. In some other cases, they're scientists, and through their experiments they gain their powers type thing, or they're mutants or aliens. This one, Batwing, growing up he lived underneath the rule of one of the warlords, and he was one of his best killers, and him and I think his friend were basically what they call dragonflies. And what they would do is they can track you. They can, I guess you can. I'll just call them hunters in the sense because they would hunt their prey down, and they were basically 2 of his best killers. And due to a circumstance that occurs, one of them disobeys him and gets killed. So as a result, Batwing decides, alright, I'm not going to follow this guy any longer. Obviously, I've made the wrong decision in doing this, and he gets revenge and pledges not to kill again, or, to do evil again. So, and then the next thing you know, he's back to his normal adult self, and while he's investigating the killings of those superheroes. This was like a really, really, really good read, and I can't believe it. I just can't believe I'm 4 issues in, and I'm reading this book, because I wrote this book off from the very beginning, and this has been one of the stronger new characters that I've seen, come out in a very, very long time. It's just such an interesting take on a superhero because it's in an exotic location, a crazy origin, and crazy things are going on. Things that you just wouldn't expect in a normal superhero title. So DC definitely, I think, hit a home run with this, unlike what they're doing with Mr. Terrific and Static Shock, which is a shame. So anyways, that's my review of these books right here. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And I'll have more reviews later, so until next time.